because this time we shall be looking at party discipline, you know, and godfatherism in maybe our political party or political life in the country. You know, it came up today, or it happened a few days ago, where the CPDM of Southwest and FACO in particular were talking about that so very much, that it has spoiled the party in FACO. It is bringing a lot of differences. But I will still come back to you, Mr. Njomosiri. You are a politician, and we will not want to look at it only in the CPDM party. We know that party discipline takes place in all the parties, all the political parties. What's your take about that, to bringing differences in parties?
It will be very childish for me to sit here and yes, I'll use my precious time to talk about my party. I'm talking about the CPDM.
No, we are generalizing it. We are putting CPDM aside. Yes.
So, when it comes to party discipline, every party, political party, has what we call the ideology, the ideology of the party that somehow define the vision of the party over the years.
Yes. Maybe this one will guide us on something while we'll continue. This one says, your topic is good, but you guys should have some control in talking so that we comprehend you properly. It's Mr. Kennedy who has gotten to us. Thank you so very much. I'm happy that you are watching us. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Daddy Kenneth, for that insight. So I was talking about a political party. So that is why they brought up the issue of militantism. Who is a militant? A militant of a party is like a soldier, and he's supposed to be trained. He or she's supposed to be trained to own that name. Because when you are a militant of a party, it means that you have bought the ideology. It's like a Christian that has been baptized in the church.
Okay.
If after baptism you go around again insulting your church, then people have to question your faith. It's the same thing like a political party. But in politics now, we have two categories of militants. We have early as militants, what we call in business early adopters. People who just hear an idea, because it goes in the same direction like their values in life, they buy it and they can die for it.
They don't diagnose, they just...
But you also have this category of people, and unfortunately they are the majority in most political parties, that are opportunists. Okay. My heart bleeds as I talk, because more and more I see even young people practicing that kind of politics. Let me tell you, and because you want to hear, that this kind of militant have over the years been well-to-do people. People who have gone through the civil society or the public service till retirement or at the dawn of their career, and they are looking for what next. Then because of the huge sum of money and relationship they have built over the years, they bounce back to politics, and because of their reputation, of course, they gain strategic positions. But today, you have young people who join politics, especially the ruling party, as a backup. Yes, I'm waiting every element of my work, so that when you want to pass in an office, you remove your card and show section secretary for this, and they say CPD, and
you have the access.
And you have the access. I've seen that personally in Yaoundé. I've seen that even here in Boya.
And maybe for job opportunity.
So what I'm decrying here is that those kind of people are always the first people to bounce the door and go. Yes, the same way they came in is the same way they move out, because they have never bought the vision. They were looking for the opportunity, and because he has not come, they are the one insulting the party. Nobody can belong to a particular political party and is insulting it openly. When somebody sits beside you and doing that, even the CPDM, tell that person you are a bad prophet. You are misguided. You are of bad faith. You are an opportunist, and by extension, you are a black leg, because you cannot be somewhere and you are criticizing that place. Why not take the door? Create your own party, because in Cameroon, to create a political party is not like to create an NGO. Why not gather a number of people? You people create your own political party. So, Mwambo, in the CRM, and that's why I'm going to baffle you. No, the situation there is more decent. Under the chairmanship of the president-elect, Professor Maurice Kamto, we have what we call our Congress that takes place every 5 years. That is where the last one happened in April 2018 at the Yaoundé Conference Center. That is where we went and plebiscite. In short, the whole country came out. I don't think even the CPTN have made that record in this country. We gather more than 35,000. Oh, somebody is disturbing the platform.
Okay.
Please, I'm landing because you're talking about party discipline.
Yes,
and I want to tell you
why not focus on your own
just land. Yes. Go on.
Okay, so we went and voted for President Maurice Kamto and his board. And since they have been leading us according to the constitution of our party. I've hardly seen a place where Professor Maurice Kamto or any member of the National Directorate dictate what I will come on the platform and say. No. We have what we call in our party the academy, headed by Dr. Zu. He should be following me, or after he will send comment. Dr. Zu is a young man. He's less than 32. It's true that he recently backed his PhD and is teaching in the University of Ngaoundéré. Okay. Yes. It should tell you that now we have moved because of the COVID-19. We have taken our training online. That is where we train that's where we train people who have interest, sympathizers to become militants, so that they should not come in and start crying of party discipline. I will land by talking about the elections because I overheard the director of the CPTM Academy, Professor Ngole, talking about how the party is mobilizing people to register for regional elections, for electoral list, so that they can be vowed for regional election, which of course is cooking up to say that no, this is a party that keep lying. And sometimes I can understand why more and more people are living their lives or the cry of party discipline, where you have administrators that instead of responding to the basic need of their people, they keep amassing money and giving to their patron in the party.
Mr. S.K. Kufo, you are also a politician. We are talking of party discipline, godfatherism in parties that bring differences and problems in parties.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwambo. At times when I sit in a panel with learned gentlemen like this, at times I'm baffled. At times the discussion is funny, but at times educative as well. Thank you for that. One thing I want to say here, Mr. Mwambo, is that Africa is where it is today because most hierarchies in parties are using their personal opinion to subjugate general opinions that can build a country. We want to say that partyism is not the basic of an individual ideology, but an idea that fosters the nation. And that is why democracy as a concept or a system of governance came into place, that the best ideology could take the people forward. But when a party ideology revolts about making personal riches the growth of your stomach than the growth of the nation, it becomes an issue. For example, being in a party does not make your intellect to become dormant. Okay. Being a party must not be taken from tribal lines. Being a party must be taken from nationalistic perspective.
Very correct.
Being in a party must be for the future of the nation.
Can the young man answer the question?
No. Who is a young man here, Mr. Njomo Siri? Who is a young man here?
Focus on the question.
Who is a young man here?
Who
is a young man?
Yeah, that's why he's talking of the discipline.
Yes. The CRM party we're saying here. That's the indiscipline in the CRM party.
If you don't instill respect in this party,
no. Go on. That's why we call it cross views, please.
Because in my view,
just go on.
Because in my view is after I finish talking, you get to my opinion, you shift out what you think does not substantiate.
Okay. The CRM party.
Just go on. Just go on, please.
Anyway, to say I have a strong intellect, distraction cannot kick me off. I would say what I was saying is that we are talking about nationalistic value. We are talking about patriotism. We are talking about the spirit of altruism. Yeah. When you inculcate this spirit of altruism, the first thing that comes into your mind, the nation is bigger than your tribe. The nation is bigger than your region. The nation is bigger than your family. So you're looking into the general perspective, and that is why the young men of Cameroon refers to me as a gift to humanity. Why? USDP has molded our mindset in such a way that we know the change starts with you. I am asking for change because I am a change product. If I'm asking for good, it's because I have the ability to give good. And I believe it is attractive to see people, what I am preaching is reflective by action. So in that nutshell, we are saying a party should not be something that makes your intelligence to become dead. When a party has to subject your intelligence in a particular dimension that one thing must be propagated, we say that that is a current lie that has been given to people to market. But what we want to say, we are saying that building a nation, there is no current life to be marketed. You talk the nation, you talk the country, you talk the development, you talk the infrastructure, you are talking the language of the nation, irrespective of what party you are. That is why I want to take, though people will say, I want to quote from a first world country, we're talking about America, the Democrat and Republican. No matter the differences of ideas, you hear them sticking on lines of ideologies. And their lines of ideas all boils down in making America the best nation in the world. So when we are talking about party, it's not for me to discredit you. It's not for you to discredit me. It's for us to look at our ideas and tell you your idea is not matching. It's not for you to attack my person. Yep. We are saying the attack is against a system and not against person. And at times, party comes to make people to know that if you buy an idea, for example, I may be in the USDP, but MRC may have an ideology that may foster the nation. That is why in America you may see people, Democrat may vote for Republican. Why? Because the country is the picture, not the party. So you at times different party will like executive meetings may be, and you risk questioning on the way they are going about certain things, and you start getting you being termed insubordinated, that you are portraying an insubordinated characteristics to your hierarchies. Okay. But now the question you'll be asking, like we want to say, I want to go to with SDF. You see SDF, there is this section A sub 2 that they use this to kick off members away from the parties. We want to say these are things people may have the liberty to. You cannot be in a house that every person say yes. You must be in a house and people should be bold enough to tell you no. Any house that has to build, you must have every set of people. I want to tell you, a house must be built with intelligent people, stupid people, skilled people, unskilled people, dormant people, and active people. That is what gives the quality of that house. That is what we are saying about diversity. We are talking about diversity. You are taking from all angles, and because in ruling a nation, all these people are present in the nation. That is why if you go in the British House of Commons, you have tellers in the British House of Commons.
Everyone is
Give me 1 minute. Okay. She's actually.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay, you are just stopped by nature.
It's okay. If people want to take the time, I give it to you. I'm a gentleman, Mr. Mwambo. I never rush with time. I never rush with it.
I'll come back to you. Dr. Busi, you know, there's always a complaint as far as party discipline is concerned, and Godfather. You know, this thing happened because, you know, especially the young, the youth always complain that the hierarchy in the party is always suppressed on them. And that's why even leaders today, you have the old and so on.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. It baffles me when there's still one young politician here that is there to support a lot on party discipline, when we know that he has faced a lot on issues of party discipline. I will not call the name of the politician. But I feel that...
are you tagging your colleagues?
I think that issues of party discipline, partisan politics is so complex. And when you look at party discipline, like Sir Kufo, the barrister Allah says, it brings a lot of brain drain. Because people do not reflect for political ideology that can change the party and change the country. Let me look at the CPDM party, how it functions. When you look at the CPDM, there's what they call the Central Committee. And the Central Committee is the backbone of the party. That is being managed by the Secretary General of the CPDM, Jean Kwete. That is the backbone of the CPDM. And then across the country, members of the Central Committee have been appointed by the president and the party. To tell you that if you are a member of the Central Committee, you are already a baron. That means a member of the Central Committee can decide who is going to be a councillor. A member of a Central Committee can decide who is going to stand as a parliamentarian. So those are the kind of things that party discipline is not good. A minister that is a member of the Central Committee can decide who stand as a Lord Mayor. that is what happened contextually in our country because of party discipline. Partisan politics is complex because when you talk of party discipline, it goes with political culture. That people must respect that political culture. And if you are not part of respecting the political culture, they kick you away. So party discipline is something that is good for the deontology of a party to respect the rules and regulations of the political party. But it also has limits. It has disadvantages a lot in our political system because party discipline doesn't allow people to air their mind. We have seen systems whereby we see young politicians vying for position because they have their own ideology, because they see things in a different perspective, they have different perception. The barons in the party push them down because of party discipline and call them names in the country. Let's see how the CPDM functions. The CPDM has what we call the central committee. The CPDM has what it calls the sections.
Yes.
The CPDM has what they call the subsections and the cells.
Did not tell us it was a
and the cells.
No, somebody who has read.
You
are MRC. What kind of? You are MRC. On the platform you are MRC. A political party who is
you are MRC.
What if you
how do you know that I'm not a member of the party?
Wait. No,
be a gentleman.
It's not bad to know.
Be a gentleman. Your party has.
It's not bad to know about the party.
I've been a member of the party.
Are you a member?
I have been a member.
Okay.
I will not tell you on air.
Yes,
I will not. I understand how the CPDM party functions. I understand how the CPDM party functions, so I can explain. So if you want to explain the organigram of MRC or he wants to explain the organigram of his party, I will not stop him from explaining. He's a politician. He can explain their organigram. I will not stop them. When people want to talk, you listen because you want. You will not force me to buy the ideas of MRC on this table. I will never. I'm not a member of RMC. I will not force me. You will not force me, sir. You will not force me. I can only be a member if I have the willpower for that. You will not be the one to force me. So what I'm saying is that party politics, when you look at geopolitics in the country, you understand that party discipline is good and it also has disadvantages. Party discipline has disadvantages for young politicians who think diversely. In a system like Cameroon, party discipline has affected many young Cameroonians from entering into politics.
Thank you very much. I'll come to Mr. Item. I don't know what's your take about this and godfatherism in parties. You know, everybody who wants to be a politician starts maybe taking some path into the party to have a godfather, whereby if the godfather is up there tomorrow, he becomes better.
I've been saying on this platform severally that Cameroon is gradually building a hegemony where particular persons are carved out within forms of municipalities and villages for the order to queue behind, and those automatically become the gods. Yeah. You know, in those days during the colonial era, we had the whites that were seeing them as our gods, but right now in our modern democracy, we have also carved out some group of persons whom we are seeing them like demigods, and it's very bad because it defeats the very purpose of democracy, where the people chooses for themselves the person whom they want to lead. They want them to lead them. So now, party discipline in every party, either MRC, CPDM, or whatsoever, every party has its internal rules and regulations.
Very correct.
And it is not within the honors or the powers of another party to come and dictate on another party. And once you have accepted to align yourself with a particular party, you have in total accepted to move with to obey their rules and their regulations. And once you are no longer moving within that lane, the person who is the head of that group has the right to discipline you, or better still, dismiss you. Now, the problem with the CPDM party, which their party militants are decrying, or they are crying of the issue of party discipline, especially in the Southwest, is due to the fact that in Cameroon in general, the party does not know the difference between the party discipline and discharge of public service or public government service. Now they want to dictate the party discipline issue, want to intrude into government affairs. No, if you are in the party, you have the right to obey the rules and the regulation, but once you are appointed into a state function, you should be able to work with free hands. By the time the party, you are in a particular place, we are talking, and because you have to appreciate maybe the gesture of another party. For example, when the CRM came up with the issue of assistance to the coronavirus, yeah, I expected the stakeholders in charge to applaud the initiative of a party that does not have the funds and the means to even gather the resources to assist the vulnerable who cannot afford. But because of party discipline issue, you don't have to appreciate another. Party discipline at one point, to me, is hurting the common man, because it is more or less an issue of people hailing and